Previously on Critically Stupid.
Let's see if I can get through this without coughing, sneezing, whatever that Dayquil commercial says. All right. Smash cut. Do you ever just suddenly remember something and you have no idea how you could have possibly forgotten that thing? Because that happened to me recently, to a lot of us here at Waterdeep, and I'm still not sure how we forgot these things that we have always known and always should have known. For instance, I realized that I've known where the vault is this entire time, and Rainier remembered he had a brother, but let me back up for y'all a little bit. Our tavern burnt down, and truthfully, I'm still not wholly recovered from that because I spent a lot of time and effort in my crow's nest to stay away from people, and then somebody just burns the whole thing to the ground. Thankfully, all of us got out safely, including JP and Constance the cat. But we saw in the crowd who I thought was Rainier. I mean, I'm pretty sure. The red hair. And as we all know, there's only like 2.5 gingers in all of Waterdeep, so stands to reason that it would have been Rainier, right? I've never trusted him. So naturally, I shot him because that's what I do to people that I don't trust and that are leaving a tavern that I happen to own after it's on fire. He tried to get away. He failed at getting away. Fala Lafayette did us a solid. You may remember them. They owned one of the shops nearby. They used a whole bunch of vines to trap Rainier for us. I don't think Rainier was alone. There were others wanting him, chasing him, little goblins, I guess. I guess they were goblins, and him. And I'm gonna be honest, I have no idea what is even happening anymore. But in the midst of all that, of capturing Rainier and Arnold actually pulling through and saving the day with violence for a change, Rainier said that he remembered his half brother. And how do you forget that you had a half brother? It's one thing that you forget where a vault is, right? Because it hasn't been on your mind before now, but to forget that you have a brother. Anyway, we didn't linger at the shop for too long because, again, goblins. And we took Rainier and we ran out a back door. Rainier told us that there was another key to the vault, which sounds a little bit sus since I thought the Stone of Golorr was the key. Anyway, he said that the key was at the old Xoblob shop from a very long time ago. We've come full circle. So we're on our way to ye old Xoblob's shop in the Sea Ward. Smash cut. Family hurts. It's a binding of the people who are supposed to love us more than anyone else in the world, but who are also capable of causing us the greatest harm. A group we are told to trust unconditionally, despite having not a single shred of evidence to earn that trust. A group who we share blood with and nothing more. But blood doesn't make a family. Blood makes hostages. A family isn't people who are born together, but rather people who choose to be together. People who find each other through the waves of dreams and trauma and fortitude and hard work. People who choose to support each other, love each other, laugh with each other, fight for each other. People who show up. They can hurt every bit as much as the family you're born into, but at least you get to choose that hurt. Family, real family, is the people you choose every day. The people you choose to be around you on the good days and the bad. The people you choose to let into your guard, trust with your secrets. Family is the people that show up.
Where's my...
No, we need a cold open. We can't just like jump into the episode. Oh no, I guess we're
No,
gonna
that's
you
it.
guys
That's
were-
it. There it is. That's the
No,
That's
it's
the
not.
cold open.
You're not. You
dude.
can't just terrorize us like
No,
that.
come on. That'd be so funny. Imagine the episode just starts with this, and then you're like, no, dude, we need a cold open. You can't just jump into the.
That's pretty big.
When you hear the call to adventure into the fantasy fold, you never know what's around the next corner. Just grab your dice and roll. And if you have a problem to solve, call your best friends and heavenly door. You got Garath with his healthy hands. Test and smell what's around the bend. Mel will kill at the drop of a dime. Arnold will find a friend every time. We're not murder hobos, but you'll be killed and looted. We might be the bad guys, or maybe just deluded, because we're critically stupid. Critically stupid. Critically stupid. Critically stupid. Best friends.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to your soon-to-be world-famous Dungeons and Dragons roleplay comedy podcast, Critically Stupid. I am your host and dungeon master, Alexander James. I'm also your sparkly water boy. I love these canned flavorsome bad boys. It's like beer, but non-alcoholic, and I like that a lot. My favorite part of last episode was bringing back Fala LaFauci. It was a character that we had in the really early arc of, I think, like just into season 2. But I thought they were a really cool NPC. I loved the way they were written, and it was really great to bring them back as we sort of close up the story threads of this campaign, and I liked it a lot. Diana, why don't you go next?
Hi, my name is Diana. I play Mel. I also have the Wolf Pup, Joshua Patrick, Josh Pat, J. Peasy. I'm not a huge sparkling water fan. I don't know. I just don't feel like my water needs to be carbonated. Yeah, anyway. My favorite part of last episode, I'm gonna be 100. I don't remember, which is ironic because in the recap you were like, everyone got their memories back, and I was like, that wave missed
Not
me.
me.
It missed me. It went right, like I'm short, like I'm 5'2". If I stretch, it went right over my fucking head. Anthony.
Hi, I'm Anthony. I play Arnold. I like my water like I like my vampires with no sparkles. My favorite part of last episode was, honestly, I really liked that I got away with. I didn't expect you to have Fala lift up the tentacles and Rainier the way you did. I thought I was gonna fail somehow at what I was trying to do, but it worked out, and I was like, finally, I got one.
Oh,
And I
your
got to
badass
cast-
shatter moment?
Yes, like the badass shatter moment. I was like, that made me feel really good because I felt like the previous episodes, I had at least one big moment in each episode where I was like, this is gonna be great. And I even in that one, I later had the other moment where I was like, oh yeah, I have a good distraction idea. Here, let's do this. And you're like, oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Not use that. Like, it's gonna happen in the corner, but it's gonna have no effect at all, and nothing's gonna matter, but you're gonna lose a spell slot. That's what you get. Yeah, and I was like, okay, well, you know what? At least I get this cool like lifting shatter moment. That's fine. That's fine. So I felt good. So Garion.
I just want to say I'm real happy and proud of you that you got that moment. But because I'm sad and dead inside, I do have to point out that it literally took you to the end of the campaign.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Really,
my character survived that long enough to get that one off. So that's good. I nailed it.
Hey everybody, I'm losing my fucking mind, and I play Garath. I am also a sparkly water boy. However, I am a water boy who happens to be sparkly. And my favorite part of last episode was probably when we got in that taxi with a vined up fucking rich guy tethered to Arnold, and the taxi driver asked 0 questions.
As he does, as they do.
It's like
Plus,
one
they
of
should
them
if
New
they
York
want a
City
tip.
cab drivers. They know
Yeah.
better. They just want to get their shift done and get home.
That's right.
I respect that.
Okay, for our cold open today, it's very fitting as we again close the story threads that we opened in the beginning of the campaign. We find ourselves back at Ye Olde Xoblob shop, and in celebration of that, I would like the three of you to build me a curiosity. So my first and biggest question goes to the person at this call who I think is most capable of answering it, and that is Dianna. And that is, what is it?
Every single time you've said that it's the most capable person, I know you're going to pick me, and I know that I am the least capable person. Like I know it's coming, but I can't stop it, and I can't do anything to quick prepare because I don't
like
know
diarrhea.
what is about. I mean, I disagree. I think sometimes you do know diarrhea is coming.
You have that 5-minute warning. We're like, ooh.
We can also see on like sometimes like there's certain images where you can see that. Okay.
I think if you're getting your stomach like X-rayed and someone's like, "Oh, you're about to have diarrhea," it's too late.
Well, I would think
X-ray?
like an ultrasound would show. An X-ray will show if you're FOS. But
I'm
it's
not a doctor. All right, I don't know what the machines do.
I love
I'm
that you
not.
have interrupted the medical professional twice to point out that you're not a doctor.
So when you say it's a curiosity, is it supposed to be an actual thing, or am I just supposed to describe something random? Like, I don't understand.
It is a
assignment.
curiosity that is for sale at Ye Olde Xoblob shop. So it can be whatever you want it to be, because Ye Olde Xoblob shop is a store for wild curiosities, anything from like tiny ancient coins to massive wings of desiccated creatures on the wall. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so it's going to be a small figurine. It's going to be purple.
Okay.
And it's going to be see, I do remember stuff. And it's going to be of a small cat wearing a little hat.
Okay.
Not unlike your
Sorry, that
little
does
cat.
remind me. I am playing with Constance the kitten. Still
Thank you.
getting used to him. I'm sorry. Please.
That's okay.
Continue.
He's just a little guy.
It looks a lot like Constance, but is purple.
Okay, a purple Constance, a cat wearing a hat. This is perfect. Garion, where did it come from?
Where did it go?
Hot Night Joe.
I'm so glad you asked, actually. It came from, you know how like there are the Fey Wilds or Fair, yeah. It's like that, except instead of people, it's just cats. And I don't mean like personified cats who are walking around on 2 feet and talking. Nah, it's just like normal cats who also have somehow managed to invent things.
Thank God they're normal cats, because I saw just enough of the movie Cats to know that the other option is an abomination.
Yeah, none of that.
No
Okay.
one's
Regular cats.
Yes.
Okay. And then, of course, Anthony, because it is on the shelves at Ye Olde Xoblob shop, though it breaks my heart, this question has to be asked. Why hasn't anyone bought it yet?
No one has bought it yet. Oh God. No one has bought it yet because it is anatomically correct.
Okay.
It has a very prominent butthole, as most cats like to show. Is the thing. So and it is purple. It's purple from head to tail. But yeah,
from head to butthole.
But from head to butthole. I was gonna say it, but from head to butthole it is purple. But it's lovely. It was perfectly crafted. But you know, not everyone's cup of cat. So yeah.
Not everyone's cup of cat. Okay. So we have a small statue of a cat, dyed purple with a very exposed and prominent rear end scenario, sitting on a shelf in Ye Olde Xoblob shop as the bell over the door chimes merrily. And who walks in first? Because unless you have made a different decision, Rainier is still bound at his hands with vines. So fairly suspicious looking.
I think Garath would probably head in first.
Okay.
As the haggle man.
Okay.
The barter.
Careful, Bessie. Don't do it with your lungs. It's not worth it. Okay. There is, very apropos to this moment in our show, because in the fiction, there is a plume of bright purple smoke that emits from this counter. And you hear that high-pitched voice say, "Well, hello there."
Oh, copyright mouse.
And the smoke clears, and you see a gnome standing on a stack of books atop a stool behind a counter. He has a long beard that he is fiddling with in one finger, and is looking at you over what appear to be brand new purple spectacles that he's pushed to the edge of his nose.
So above table, really quick. Why are we here again?
We need
A key.
key.
Well, I
Rainier
thought
has
we
said
had the
there's-
key. Isn't the
Rainier-
Stone of the Golorr the key?
Not according to Rainier.
Oh, okay. I guess we're gonna find out then.
You could also have a conversation with Rainier if you want to back the scene up a little bit and have a quick convo outside, because I did just rush you from the fantasy Uber into the store. If you want to have like a moment.
I think no. I think I'm have a plan of action heading forward if none of my co-party mates object.
No, of course.
Before we go in, I think I will ask Arnold for the replica Stone of Golorr.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah. So I take it out and I look at them and I'm like, I give him the one with the red dot.
Okay, so we go in and Xoblob comes up to us, I presume.
He greets you from the counter.
Mr. Xoblob, I have a dare I say a curiosity that I wanted to discuss with you in a private room, maybe somewhere not so out in the open.
Well, gosh darn it, I love curiosities. It's my whole shtick here. Everything in here is curious, including me. Why do you want to go to a private room? Are you gonna jump me? You gonna try and fucking rob me? Listen, I've been operating in the Sea Ward for fucking 10 years, bucko. All right, I know robbers when I see them, and you're untrustworthy.
Hey, if you know robbers when you see him, you should know really cool guys who would probably do it when you were asleep at night and not right in front of you. Anyway,
His eyes narrow, but he doesn't interrupt.
then Gareth pulls out the replica Stone of Golorr, but like also like trying to like not have it, out to the fucking public. He's kind of like revealing it from a pocket. And it's just like, I wanted to chat about this, but a lot of people are currently on the lookout for it. Hopefully that is why I wanted to talk somewhere maybe more private and secluded without so many windows.
Well remembered, Garath, because Ye Olde Xoblob shop does have an almost 180-degree view of the street corner. If you'll remember, that's why you came here in the first place, way back in our early campaign, because you were looking for Floon, and the altercation that happened outside the shop, and the reason he saw it was because he has so many windows. So Xoblob purses his lips and says, "Well, now hang on there, big guy. Bring that rock closer. It looks like it could be worth a pretty penny." And he exchanges his spectacles for slightly smaller spectacles.
I think Gareth puts it away and said, I don't want to really discuss this out in the open and the full view of the street. Perhaps you have a back room or somewhere more private, as I've said.
Yeah, of course. Come on back. And he hops off the stool and uses a cane to like pop up a corner of the counter and gestures you back and opens the door to what appears to be a small storeroom / office, Garath. There's like a counter with some like small denominations of coin, nothing major. There's a safe, and there are a handful of like grander curiosities that he's got locked up just for some reason. There's like a suit of armor on a stand that's got curious black spikes sprouting out of it that look like plant growth. He's got like a sword in a velvet sheath, kind of hastily stacked against one wall, a couple other boxes and barrels. But he overturns one of the barrels with much grunting and effort and sort of scoots it to the middle of the room and says, "All right, plunk it down there, man. Let's take a gander at it."
I do, sit down and do that. But also, does he have any reaction to Rainier just like being tied up and on Arnold's shoulder?
I was just about to ask, like, I know Gareth is going into this room. Mel and Arnold, what are you doing in this scene? Like, are you going with Gareth? Are you staying outside? How is Rainier coming into the shop? Is he carried on Arnold's shoulder, or is he able to walk freely?
I think it'd be funny if we made it so like, he's wrapped up, so like just his feet can do like a little steppy,
Just like a little-
so we don't have to carry him anymore, but he
That'd be
really
nice.
can't go anywhere.
He has a leash
like-
from a central,
Right. But like Mel and Arnold kind of still have to stand behind him because you can't balance really well when you're all tied up. So we have to keep like tipping him back forward as we go.
Like a perpetual trust fall.
Yeah.
Okay. Gareth, give me a perception roll, please.
If you insist.
I think he does.
Being the person that is interacting with Xoblob.
13 plus 4 is 17.
Yeah, his eyes widen a skosh, but you can't tell if it's immediate recognition or just surprise that this dude who's tied up is coming into his shop. And he actually says, "Hey, what's with the buffoon that's all roped up over there? Seems kind of weird."
He's involved in this, but we're also not sure how. So don't worry about it.
Okay.
There's no threat, as you can see.
No, yeah, he kind of looks like a weenie. Yeah, all right, throw that rock down, big guy. Let me take a gander at it. Actually, hold on. He takes off the slightly smaller spectacles and puts on a really small pair of spectacles.
Okay. It's painted in my mind palace. Yeah, Gareth throws down the replica orb or stone. It goes, so do you recognize this curiosity, Xoblob?
The gnome picks it up, his hands slightly shaking, actually, Gareth, as he picks it up. And he turns it over in his hands and he says, "Well, that's a pretty good gemstone you got there. It's wow. Yeah, that's worth quite a pretty penny. What's this milk in the middle of it? Is that sort of there's like a sort of milky vein running through the middle? Is that sort of an imperfection or?"
Can I do an insight check to see if he recognizes what he's holding or if he genuinely does think it's just a pretty rock?
Absolutely. I would actually love insight checks from all three of you, actually, because seems like a moment for
dirty
it.
20.
Nice.
That's not too bad. 14.
Okay.
2.
Did you roll a 1, Bessie? You just get a 2.
No, it's just a 2.
It's a flat 2. Okay.
Clearly, Mel's like totally distracted.
Yeah, Mel's dissociating. Okay.
The Buffalo Bulls lost in Waterdeep.
Actually, we won. If Mel's dissociating, maybe it's because she had to read some piece about family and blood keeping everybody hostage and family.
I really thought I cut that line.
I'm going to be honest. I don't understand why it's bad, and I don't want to, so we should move on.
Okay. Gareth, with your dirty 20, what your insight check gets you is actually very curious because clearly Xoblob has no idea what he's looking at. The way that he's rolling this stone around in his hands, if he recognized it, it would be almost right away. I mean, it's a stone set in like an ancient brass setting. There's some runes around it. Like he would recognize it for what it was, but he doesn't. But the way that he keeps turning it over in his hands and like asking you to specifically look at something in the gem, it's almost like he's like wasting your time, like intentionally. It's almost like he's buying time.
Okay, I think I'm just gonna. He's like asking me questions. I think Gareth is just gonna like fully ignore him and be like, "Oi, Rainier, why'd you take to talk to the gnome here? What do you want from Xoblob?"
That is a great question. Is not what Rainier never ever would say. He would simply answer the question, and I'm just wasting time because my kitten is screaming in the next room, and I wish I could throw him out of the window.
Show us the boy.
No, he's being an asshole right now. He doesn't deserve FaceTime. I wanted to speak with Monsieur Xoblob here because he is an old adventuring companion of my father, and my father clearly trusted him to hold the key to the vault. The key to the vault. Yes, of course, Xoblob, you remember. And Xoblob turns this key over one time, and he raises his eyes to look at Rainier. And Anthony, with a 14, you can see that almost all of the blood has fled from Xoblob's face. He is very, very pale. And he clenches the Stone of Golorr, the fake Stone of Golorr, in one hand, and in a burst of motion casts a spell with the other. Now, because you recognized it happening, Anthony, I will give you an opportunity to make a surprise gesture here before this spell is cast, whatever it is. Oh, sort of
Our
like a
word
reaction.
kill.
Okay, so obviously I don't know what the spell is, and I can't tell, right? Like, can I tell? Can I tell with what I've seen if it seems to be an attack sort of thing, or just not?
He is
Or is
not
this something-
he is not pointing his hands at any of you. Let's say that.
Okay, I see. Okay, fair enough. I guess what I do as a reaction would probably be to say, I would probably look to Mel as the protector of the group, and basically
As
say
the boss.
as the boss, yeah, and say he's gonna use magic, just kind of like scream, like I like this. That's what Arnold would do. That's what he would actually do. So
Okay.
Mel would grab the like vine holding Rainier or whatever and like pull a knife and like hold it to him.
Okay.
Like,
Do I get a reaction?
why don't you tell us what's going on here?
I guess I'm like right in front of him. I probably don't get a reaction.
Yeah, you're a little too close to what's happening, Garath. Mel, I think you get a hand on Rainier's wrist, let's call it, before this spell is actually cast, because the nature of a reaction is like it's very like in the moment. So Arnold saying he's going to cast a spell would take up a lot of the time that it would take.
I mean,
to
he's
cast the
tied
spell.
up, so I would think I could at least pull him in. So
Sure. Yeah, we'll say you
he's
grab
on
him
like
and
a
pull him
leash or
close.
whatever. So at least he's there. And
So Xoblob casts a hand out of his shop and casts some sort of arcane spell that none of you recognize. And there is a burst of slamming motion. The suit of armor on the stand in this room suddenly springs to life and lunges forward, clumsily shoving Rainier and Mel out of this room. But he rolled quite low on his clumsy attack. So Mel, you're not going to take any damage, but you are going to be forced out of this room with Rainier's like vine in tow. As you stumble into the main showing room of Xoblob's shop, there are a number of curiosities animating and coming to life. There was a purple troll skull strapped to the wall the first time you guys came. It is still there. However, now it has wriggled its neck bones and snapped itself off the wall and is flumped onto the ground and is sort of like clacking towards you. There is a wing of some sort of ancient creature that has detached itself from the wall and is batting sort of like a one-sided bat, flying towards you, Mel. And there is a tiny dyed purple kitten with an obnoxiously large butthole that is also scribbling its way across the floor towards you. What do you do?
so gross.
Can I do something, or is it Mel's turn?
It's Mel's turn.
Okay.
what is Rainier do? Did we like fall? Did we?
I think you stumbled, but you didn't fall. Rainier looks a little bewildered, a little confused as to what's going on.
How fast is everyone moving?
Well, right now it's your turn, so it's sort of up to you. I mean, like nobody else in the back room has moved. Like it's just like you were pushed out by this suit of armor, and it's
Like,
you,
could
and you have just
I-
like turned.
How
to
far
see
out am I? Can I like pull Rainier and myself back into the back room and like shut a door? Or
Yeah, you can for sure. I mean,
Okay.
it's like a couple feet behind you. Like it didn't shove you far. You're gonna have to kick your way past the suit of armor that got between everybody else and you and Rainier to force you outside of the room.
and it makes like it's gonna attack me. Like,
It sure looks that way.
I mean, I guess I have to shoot it.
Okay, so you're gonna let Rainier go.
Yeah, I mean, he's shuffling at best. He's not gonna get anywhere all that fast. He's got two little
You push him over while you're at it, so he can't even do anything. Can't even
right?
hobble away.
Like honestly. Yeah. I probably would at least like pull him down with the thing, just as much to stop him as to like in some way protect him too. Because he's got answers, and yeah, so I think I'd probably like pull him to the ground. You know what I do? I'd pull him to the ground and I'm stepping on the viney thing that's
Okay,
holding him there.
perfect.
And
Roll
then
up that attack. From remember, you attack twice as you attack this suit of armor.
19.
Okay. Both of your arrows slam into the suit of armor, one shearing one of these like punching thorns off the shoulder, and then another one slamming straight through the breastplate. Roll me some damage really quick.
Just in case this is our last episode, do you want to tell me what a D8 looks like?
It's 2 pyramids butt to butt.
Oh, yeah, that worked out. It'd be an 11 total.
Okay. This suit of armor rocks backwards, I think, with the impact of these arrows, but obviously it's an empty suit of armor, so it doesn't scream or yell or makes no sort of like motion that it's in any sort of pain. Garath, you see Mel and Rainier get pushed out of this room. You see the suit of armor get between them, and then it reverberate almost immediately with sharp iron cracks as Mel shoots 2 arrows out it. And you see next to you Xoblob leap onto the barrel that he had previously been examining the stone of Golorr on, so that he can get a view over the suit of armor into what was happening in the main floor.
So the barrel's in between us, right? So he just left closer to me.
He left on top of the barrel, yes.
Okay. So he is a gnome.
He's a little guy.
Can I just grab him?
Yeah. So
I'm gonna-
how? Like by the ankle?
Neck?
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
I mean, he's a small guy. I could probably fucking just hold him, you know?
Just Homer Simpson him. Just
yeah, you can grab him really effectively.
All right. Do I need to like roll for that? I mean, he jumped
well-
closer to me.
Roll me an athletics check and I'll roll to contest. How about that?
All right, sounds good to me. I got a 13 plus 3. Wait. Oh no, 13 plus 0. It's 13.
Well, I rolled a 3. So yeah,
Oh, badass.
you grab him by the larynx. And as you grab him, Garath, 2 words squeak out of his rapidly closing throat as he shouts, "Run, Red!" And claps his hands together.
Okay.
Arnold,
Mhm.
you see the rogue grab this puny purple wizard and squeeze him. You hear "Run, Red" explode from the gnome, and then he claps his hands together, and you are blinded by a brilliant light that explodes from this gnome's hands. There's a deafening clunk, and several noises from sort of like the outside of this small room that you find yourself in. And when you come like sort of blinking back to it, Xoblob is still standing there. Garath's fist firmly wrapped around his throat. Mel is standing over a suit of armor lying on the floor with 2 arrows punching out of it. And there is a merry jingle of a bell over a door as Rainier scampers through it, his hands still bound together.
Was Arnold the only one who saw the light, or did everybody see it?
Everybody did, and everybody was blinded for like 2 seconds. Please, Garath. Oh, God,
Gareth
don't.
is wearing
Wears
sunglasses.
sunglasses.
This is something that has been a part of my character from episode 1.
It's true.
They were originally cosmetic until this exact scenario.
I like to think he just knew someday.
That's
Someday
so-
you're
someday.
gonna need them.
so deeply annoying to me.
It was like it's an absolute hindrance in every other situation. We all have dark vision except for him, and now he's the one who can see.
Well.
I'll give you this, Garath, with your fucking sunglasses. You let's say you act first. As Xoblob casts the spell, he casts flash.
Okay.
But you can react as he's casting it. So I think you hear footsteps running quickly in the main room. But you're going to have to choose between Xoblob in one hand or a running away Rainier in the other.
Realistically, do I? Because like it's not like I'm using my whole body weight keeping this guy up against the wall. I
Runs
can
with
just
it
kind
in
of
his
run
arm.
after him.
Just like with a
Just
football.
like-
Can you throw him, actually?
No, I don't want to. I don't want to get him loose.
No.
Okay.
In fact, I
So-
might even use my other hand to like grab his wrist so he can't do any more spells.
Okay. What do you want to do?
Just tucking him
Because-
under the armpit.
Because of your sunglasses, you get to act next.
So yeah, I think as I hear Rainier running away, I do take with my other hand, one hand around his neck, the other hand grabs his wrist so he can't do any more incantations. And then I just like under the armpit football charge Rainier to like tackle him to the ground.
Okay. Give me another athletics check. Just I mean, I want to see how well you like Stefan digs this guy through the main door of
Sweet
Xoblob shop.
Buffalo Bills reference.
I mean,
Thanks.
Diggs is a wide receiver, but
Ooh, 18 plus 0 is 18.
Okay, so you grab this gnome by the wrist, you tuck him under an armpit, and then you like 3-step over the suit of armor and Mel, hook a right, and then like throw yourself through the detritus that has accumulated over the floor of Xoblob shop. There's a troll skull on the floor. There's a weirdly butthole forward statue of a small cat. There's a wing that's like fallen onto a shelf, but none of that matters because you're so focused on the fleeing form of Rainier, and you throw your shoulder into his back, like right in the square of his spine. And the two of you go shattering through the front door window of ye old Xoblob shop, breaking it into 1,000 pieces as he goes slamming into the cobblestones outside.
Hell yeah.
By this time, I think Mel and Arnold have recovered from the effects of the spell, and you guys can also like get involved. But Gareth, you have prevented Rainier from running.
I follow through the Garath Xoblob shaped hole in the glass.
Yep. It's always like a Looney Tunes hole where it's like it's like a Gareth and Xoblob silhouette.
That's the only part that shattered. The rest of the window is perfectly intact.
Yeah, it's totally normal. Actually, Rainier opened the door and closed it, and then Gareth shattered it on the way through. Nice. Okay, so Xoblob is turning purple in your hands, very apropos. And Rainier has sort of flipped up onto his back and is saying, my main boon companion, Mr. Gareth, this is a terrible misunderstanding. I was going to go get
If I misunderstand you one more time, I'm going to kill you. And I know that's usually Mel's shtick, but I'm getting tired of the misunderstandings. Both of you tell me what the fuck is going on.
Xoblob pipes up, and his like fingers are like scrabbling against your hand as he attempts to breathe, and he just manages to say,
I think I loosen my grip enough so that I'm still holding him, but I'm not like slamming his windpipe.
Okay. He says, what? That's Red. He works for the Xanathar Guild.
All right, Red, Mr.
Red
Xanathar,
hair.
would you care to defend yourself in this impromptu court of justice?
I have Mr. Gareth. No fucking clue what that dude is talking about. It is entirely possible that I knew that Mr. Xoblob here was an agent of one Xanathar guild, and it is also entirely possible that I knew that somebody was working as an agent for the Xanathar guild to acquire access to my father's vault. And so it is entirely possible that I brought you here so that some sort of shenanigans could ensue, and I could break free of your, dare I say, imprisoning grasp on my person, so that I could squash any family squabbles, so to speak, without your sort of needing your assistance. However, I have once again underestimated your efficiency in remaining involved. And God damn it, Mr. Gareth, if your sunglasses are not the most inconvenient thing that has ever happened to myself, Rainier Neverember.
Oh man.
Amazing.
Okay, I think all right, let me get 100% honesty from both of you. Mr. Xoblob, do you or do you not have a key to the vault?
No.
Okay. Now, Mr. Red, Mr. Neverember, do you or do you not have a way into the vault?
I have a sneaking suspicion that I do.
Okay. Now I'm going to go over to the harbor over there and drop one of you in it. I have not made up my mind yet, but I need to get into that vault.
It should be him. He's been deceiving you this whole time. He's been lying. The
I will-
entire time he's been working with the Xanathar Guild from day one. They've been opening portals all over the city. They've been letting other creatures in. They've been trying to get someplace. He's lying to you.
I'm gonna do an insight check while I wait for like moral guidance from my party before I just ground these two guys. I'm gonna holding Xoblob just in the harbor.
Just hold him under the water.
Yeah.
You're gonna waterboard this gnome.
I want my riches. I got my bar was burned down. I want to drown my sorrows in endless treasure.
Okay.
Sue me. Anyway, I
Mel
rolled-
would.
Sorry, give me 1 second. No, I apologize. I rolled a 13 for insight.
Yeah. I mean, Xoblob thinks he's telling the truth. He believes what he's telling. He thinks that Rainier has been working with the Xanathar Guild for this whole time. Diana.
Oh, I was gonna say that Mel would kind of automatically believe Xoblob here because she already low-key doesn't love Rainier. And since he's been a little squirrely and got up and ran, she's gonna make a little like command to Josh Pat and have him just bite him in the ankle and just hold
Ooh.
on.
Okay.
Oh, this is freeing up my hand, which is fantastic.
Goddamn.
Oh, also, I will say while I'm holding Xoblob, I think because Constance hangs out in my pocket, gets a little
Sure.
swipe in.
Nice. Yeah, just like across the cheek.
Yeah. So actually, no, you know what? I'll give Xoblob this a nice like over the eyebrow scar, very badass.
Cool. Okay. So, Mel, you order Josh Pat to bite Rainier in the ankle, and your dog, I don't know if it's like pent up aggression that he hasn't been sicked on anybody in a while, but this dog lunges at Rainier and like shreds the skin and cartilage of his ankle. Like there are flecks of things in the blood spattering the cobblestones that aren't blood, and they're not great. And Rainier shrieks.
He's feeling all the like
Wait, was
anger of the Buffalo Bills who finally won. We finally pulled it out.
That's definitely what he's doing. But Rainier Neverember, after screaming himself hoarse, says, ask him. Oh, you fucking cursed dog. Ask him. Okay. You do not believe me? This is fine. Ask him what my name is. Ask him. You know me. The whole city knows me. The whole city knows me and my last name. Ask him what my last name is.
Mel's gonna is JP, is he holding on to him or did he just shred him up to
I think JP is like has shredded him up and has now like adjusted his bite to like the end of the foot and is holding Rainier in one spot.
Cool,
Leaning
cool.
precariously over the harbor. Let's say that. Rainier is like being dangled by Josh Pat over the water.
Perfect. I just wanted to check.
All right, so Arnold would jump.
his like shoulders
jump forward
are up, so
'cause-
he has to like weirdly support his neck.
Nice. So, but Arnold would jump forward and just be like, "Okay, yeah, I want to know how many names does he have? What's his last name? Because we know I'm very confused right now about how many people have red hair and which one he has. If he has all of them, what is his last name, please?"
Well, he doesn't. Everybody knows he doesn't have a last name. It's just his name. I mean, the boss probably knows his name, but his name's probably just Red. That's the only name that we know.
The stupid fucking name.
How? How similar, other than their red hair, do Rainier and Floon actually look?
Not very.
I mean, they were
roughly.
like
Is there like a
first mission,
third,
they got,
more
like,
secret
mistaken for each
redhead that we're forgetting here? Or are they secretly twins and we're just blind to that for some reason? Like,
Let's do
did
this.
I forget a character?
You did not. Your memory is not failing you. It's actually been shockingly good this whole time. Rainier says, if I could jump in on defense of myself before your dog dumps me in the harbor or shreds my other ankle so that I can't move anywhere, I am thinking that this man has me confused with the person that is assassinating both my character and the people of my family, and is attempting to usurp some sort of the power for himself. Would it not be applicable to think that this man has confused me with the other person in Waterdeep with red hair and a passing attachment to my last name, and has made assumptions that are currently quite dangerous to my physical health?
I'm going to be so honest with the both of you. I don't really give a damn about either of your physical health. There's a vault full of treasure with our name on it, and I don't care about your family drama.
Okay.
You need to get into the vault.
Then Please ask your lovely doggo to let my ankle go. You can huck this small man in the harbor for all I care. He is nothing to me. And I will take you there. No tricks. It is that theater right there. If you do not trust me, you can go in, and I am sure that the door is unlocked.
So can I ask? I like Arnold would just interrupt because like I'm curious, and I'd look at Xoblob and be like, "Well, he's willing to throw you into the harbor. Why did you just try to save his life and free him?"
Because he's working for the boss, obviously. And and anybody that's working for the boss is protection by life. That's not a phrase. Sorry. Anybody working for the boss has to be protected because otherwise the boss will kill us instead. And I don't want to die. I like my shop very much, even if it means selling information to the Xanathar every now and then.
Cool. Who's the boss? And is it Bruce Springsteen?
I mean, it is Bruce Springsteen. He was born on a turnpike in Jersey, but it's also the leader of the Xanathar Guild, the sort of gang leader. He's a horrible phenomenon.
You want to hit us with a name there?
Xanathar.
Oh, you know what? We should have guessed that. It's not bad.
Is that Xanathar? Like, what is it, Mr.
No,
Thar?
it's one word. Xanathar.
His name
The gang's named after him. I don't know how it took you 47 episodes to figure it out.
Sorry, because maybe this is the first time you've ever mentioned
it's
the
a
boss.
gang. Like,
Fuck
there's
you.
no in like you think a gang like Bloods and Crips. There's no Mr. Bloods.
There could be.
or
We
Mr.
don't know. I've never
Crips.
asked.
You don't know.
I've never asked.
Can I speak to Mr. Crip, please?
Excuse me, I have an appointment with Mr. Crip.
I'm just saying that is why that is ridiculous. Does this person go by any other names? Would we know this person?
I don't think, listen, no disrespect, but I don't think you roll in the same circles as the leader of the Xanathar Guild. He's a fearsome member of the criminal underworld, and you just sort of strike me as like three dudes.
Wow.
Wait.
Garath
Do you work for the boss? Wait, so like I'm gonna ask Xoblob, it's like, do you work for the boss?
Yeah, baby. And he jerks a robe sleeve down. And he shows you a tattoo of a circle with 10 spokes around the edge of it. He goes, "Got my 8-year badge right here. Tried a true member, twice blooded."
I'm confused by your friendship and loyalty to the boss, whereas Rainier is willing to murder you, but he supposedly also works for this boss.
I think the implication is that Floon is red and the one in the Xanathar Guild.
Yeah.
You know what? Here's what I plan. I'm going to continue carrying this tiny gnome as if he were a sack of potatoes and I was on the way home from the grocery store. And you, Rainier, are going to lead us to the vault as if you were a bloodhound finding a dead body. All right?
Yes, I accept these circumstances.
Just random, real quick question. The boss, that's not another redhead, is it?
Who are you asking, Bestie?
The little gnome.
Okay. No, the boss doesn't have hair. Yeah, the boss doesn't have hair. That's the easiest way of answering that question.
It's just a bunch of fucking tentacles and a big eye. Fuck you.
Yeah. Turns out Tim's the boss this whole time.
Bum.
Pretending to be a kid.
Smash cut. Rainier Neverember pulls himself back up to his feet and limps to this theater across the street from the old Xoblob shop, dripping blood and little bits of cartilage behind him. Josh Pat has done a very efficient job of shredding his Achilles tendon. And he opens the front door and it squeaks open on rusty hinges. And he walks inside and you see a dilapidated theater. The inside of the grand hall, or once grand hall, I should say, is dusty and full of cobwebs and trash and bits of old popcorn bags on the floor. And the cushions on all of the chairs are ripped and shredded and emptied of all of their fluff for God knows how many like rodent nests in this space. There are birds fluttering around the rafters. But Rainier leads you unerringly down one of the central aisles of the seating and through a side set of stairs onto the stage and then backstage through moth-eaten curtains and sections of the backstage where there were clearly like once upon a time ropes and weights and set pieces that moved on axles, but have now all rotted into varying forms of silhouettes lying in wait in the darkness. And he takes you to another staircase leading downstairs and a series of dressing rooms, the doors of which have been thrown open. There are graffiti tattered all over the mirrors and the doors and the walls. There are more trash heaps down here. There are alarmingly sized shadows moving in the corners of some of these rooms as the denizens, be it rats or humans, sort of like move out of your...
I'm sorry. Wait, is Rainier like taking baby steps the whole way?
Yeah, this whole time he's taking little steps.
That's
This whole
like-
walk
I
takes
know
like
he's
30
just like
minutes.
hopping because his Achilles
Yeah.
tendon's fucked up.
That's what I was imagining. Like he's still tied up and he's just like he's leading us as he
Yeah.
just awkwardly baby step. But yeah. Sorry.
As he walks past these dressing rooms, you hear him counting to himself. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one. And he pushes open a door to just another dressing room. It seems like it's the exact same as the others. There's graffiti on the mirror. There's dirty clothes on the floor. Somebody was using it as a bedroom once upon a time. And then he sort of like tied hands, goes up to the wall and starts fumbling with the tiles on the wall, sort of counting. And so 3 over and 1 down, clicks and pushes in a tile, and a section of the wall pushes in and slides to the left. And you
to
are
the right. Sorry.
crisscross. You are looking at a short set of stairs that lead down and then twist sharply 90 degrees. And Rainier says, "This is it. This is my father's vault, the location of which is apparently still a secret, which is something that I am surprised about. I thought somebody would have beaten us here by now, or perhaps this fiend who is attempting to assassinate my figure in my father's empire would have beaten me to it."
Can I try to see if there are any traps or if it's in itself is a trap?
Yeah, roll up. What do you think it is?
Investigation?
Investigation? Yeah, I would say so.
Above table really quick. Did he explain in the prior episode why presumably Floon is trying to assassinate his character and family? I just don't remember.
Nope, nobody asked.
Garath rolled an 11 for investigation, plus 1 is 12.
Feels like something I would have asked. I was really high that episode.
That one episode, Bestie. Hey, that one specific episode when you were high.
Then
Didn't he say that the parents like got rid of him or something because he murdered dogs? Like he was doing terrible things.
He was like a freak. He was some sort of little freak, and he kept trying to imitate Rainier.
And then
All right, there's some single white female shit going on there,
Yes.
but
I remember you saying that exact thing. Actually, now that you say it again,
Mhm.
I'm still
I'm not
like
very
pretending that I
original,
get it.
don't- It's a movie. It's never mind.
Yeah.
She takes over her life. Okay. Anyhow, so it was like half explained that it was just some weird little freaky deaky kid. But we kind of just took Rainier at his word for that.
I can't stand it. I can't figure out a way in character to ask Rainier the questions I want to ask him, and it's driving me crazy.
Just ask him. Listen, we're in the end game here, Arnold. Just ask him the question.
Well, it's impossible because okay, I mean, well, so you told us that they don't look similar. Like they don't look similar, right?
They look rough. They look roughly similar. They have the same shade of hair, and their features are sort of like if you put them up in a lineup, they would look more
Do
or
they
less
look
similar.
roughly similar in the way that Clark Kent looks roughly similar to Superman, but no one can tell because of certain slight things that change.
Or is it kind of like if they were standing next to each other, you'd be like, "Oh yeah, that one's Flu and that one's Rainier." But if you saw one like across the street, you'd like be able to, is that?
Yeah, it's more that one. It's like because their hair is so identifiable. It's like,
Okay.
oh yeah, it's that guy. But then when you put them close to each other, it's Garion sums it up nicely. If you saw them across the street, it'd be like, wait, which one is it?
So okay, I can as we're like walking or making our way through here, can I just ask because I'm curious? I'm gonna say, Rainier, when's the last time you saw Floon?
It would be some months ago. We were we met. I arranged for a meeting. We were arguing. He had been sending me letters that I did not appreciate. Sort of threatening to overtake my father's empire and steal his name for me, blah, blah, blah. And so I said, let's meet for a drink. And we sort of came to head a little bit with the sort of words we used.
Whoa, you just went for a drink and it got to head. Wow, wait.
That is this man's half brother. So no.
Sue me for making a joke. Fucking comedy band.
Hey, listen, incest is only funny sometimes.
And this is one of those times, God damn it.
Okay. All right. So they're not the same person. It seems at this
we
point.
ever seen Floon and Batman in
never.
the same room?
Okay. Rainier starts heading down. Garath, for your investigation roll, this place does not appear to be trapped. It appears to be abandoned. You can see that right off the rip. There's dust everywhere. Like this place, it has been a long time since this place has seen the care and time that any normal theater would get.
But Rainier goes down first.
Yes.
Okay, that tells me more than my investigation roll would have.
So Rainier leads you down the stairs. They empty out into like a short hallway that leads to another set of stairs. You drop down. You are lowering underneath this theater, underneath the streets, underneath the sewers. You're dropping down until Arnold and Mel, you see with your dark vision 20 feet ahead of you at the end of a hallway is a massive door that is closed. That says, it's got an inscription along the top that says, sorry, I have to sift through a lot of these episodes notes because Garion made some decisions that I didn't anticipate. So
what, just
actually,
now?
No, in your fucking day one when you gave your character fucking sunglasses.
My bad. You know? We've had so many opportunities. And how many times have I been in a cave where Gareth was like,
I'm more annoyed at the fact that like it's like that classic D&D thing where like you can role play certain ways and you can build story cues, and then as soon as you roll the dice, like everything hinges on that one moment. And like it says in the fucking book, like he casts this flashbang spell to distract, and immediately Arnold and Mel were both like, what? Motherfucker's wearing sunglasses.
So
in fact, I think the exact face I went was actually.
All right. There's an inscription on this door. It's a big door. It's like 10, 15 feet tall, 8 feet wide. But the inscription that is tapped in a very neat hand set into the rock says, my true heir opens this door. And beneath that, there is a thin smear of something in like a short ribbon underneath it. Rainier walks up to the door and then hesitates about 8 feet away from it and seems unsure of himself.
Well, go on then. You're the true heir, aren't you?
I am, yes, but it appears that somebody has gotten here before me, or perhaps some time ago. Is this Lady Meliora? Perhaps you might be the best at identifying it, because I must admit, a tad squeamish when it comes down to it. Is this blood? And he points at the thin ribbon underneath this inscription, Mel.
How am I supposed to know if it's...
I feel like Mel would definitely recognize blood.
Do a perception check, Bestie. Do something. Roll a dice. Make a decision. Don't look at me and just ask a question.
I'm not sure what you wanted me to do. You're like, Mel, is it blood? I'm like, I don't know. Like,
is it?
Describe it more. Like I'm not. Like, I'm not God here. I don't know if it's blood. Let's say 19. Do I know if it's blood?
It is blood. It is very long since dried over, desiccated blood. It's perhaps...
Follow-up question. How did Mel tell that it was blood, Bestie? How?
It dried off and rusted flakes
Yeah.
into your palm, and then you licked it like ranch powder.
Why would licking it tell me that it's blood this far
Tastes-
out, Bessie?
Tastes like
Could she
iron.
sense the memories
Fire?
of who it
It's fire.
belonged to?
She could also sense the memories of who it belonged to.
Perfect.
what were
He
they?
said it, so now who was it?
Yeah, what were the memories?
You see a hot dog vendor in Waterdeep.
Damn it, that could be anyone.
His name was Julius Wiener, and his hot dog truck, the Julius Wiener mobile, was the fanciest in all the land.
And then one
Was
day,
he murdered by his
he got
rival,
jumped by
Oscar Mayer?
26 dudes.
Anyway, yes, Diana, there is blood on this door.
Bum, bum.
God has told me this is blood. Yes, it's blood.
Well, that tells me quite a lot. This is I am no longer confident that I am the one that can open this door. If somebody has come up before me and attempted it, I mean, also, and listen, not to be sort of a teeny weeny peeny about this, but I don't want somebody to cut open. my
While
hand.
he's talking, can Garath just like take a scoop of his ankle blood and smear it on the wall?
Oh,
It was either that or actually, I guess I could have done something else, which would have been like just as cool and maybe not as gross. But it's too late. I've made my decision.
okay. Yes, you can is the answer. You take a 2-finger scoop of his ankle blood and smear it like a bagel and cream cheese over this door.
Simba.
It's perfect.
Okay. For a second, Garath, nothing happens. For a second, you feel like a fool and that you've wasted your time, and you're just as not worthy as Julius Wiener. And then, with a deep set grating that sounds like mountains rolling apart, these doors start cracking open and sliding open, and you are struck by a burst of stale smelling air. And we're going to take a quick pee break, and then we're going to come back to the Vault of Golorr, which is what we've been
Hell
building
yeah.
up to this whole time.
You know, we get dice from Libra Arcana every once in a while. I have not been in rotation in a while. Like for a while, I need it. I'm jealous. Everyone keeps getting the awesome dice but me. So I asked Diana if she'd give me her dice, and she said no. And I wanted someone to donate some dice to me. And I keep asking, and apparently no one in the world has ever donated dice. So I have to go on LibraStarCana.com and buy my own dice because no one will ever donate dice to anyone. It's just not a thing people do.
Well, I don't mean to toot my own horn, honk honk, but but my mother is a scoutmaster for a scout troop, and after receiving October's dice set, Dart Frog, I had learned that one of her scouts had recently gotten into her first ever D&D campaign,
Oh, shit.
and then I found out she was using a random number generator on her phone.
Boo! Not as fun.
And so, honestly, it really it tore at my heartstrings to depart with my brand new Dart Frog set. But I had far too much emotional connection to my other ones, and I couldn't ignore this TTRPG player in need. So, damn it, if I didn't donate my brand new Dart Frog set so she could flex on the other nerds with their phones out.
And Garion, just so that I can be clear, where did you tell this lovely person to flex where her friends can also get badass sets of dice delivered to their door monthly?
You know what, Alex? I am so glad you asked. This is a website. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's called LibrisArcana.com. They sell all sorts of shenanigans. They sell dice. They sell D&D book covers. They sell even more dice and also metal dice. They have all sorts of shit. The resin dice are beautifully made. There's handmade ones which have the nice sharp edges. I don't have any of those, unfortunately, but Alex does. Go ahead, poke yourself with that sharp edge. Cause harm.
Honestly, like if you watch me during any given episode of Critically Stupid, I am fiddling with this D20 off camera because it is so like texturally pleasing to like fiddle with because of those hand cast resin sharp edges.
And on top of the hand cast resin, they also have a beautiful collection of metal dice. I think my personal favorite set, maybe across the whole website, has got to be Ancient Iron. Looks like if Skyrim was a dice. Anyway, you can get all that shit for 20% off at librisarcana.com no, it's not a slash. If you just use code stupid20 at checkout, you can get 20% off anything on the website. Anything. Even the rights to own it. That's not true. You can't do that. But you can buy life.
Good try.
Buy life and dice at librisarcana.com. Libris Arcana, dice for life.
Stay homunculus, everybody. Well, that wasn't necessarily figured out. It was just I forgot that, like, I didn't expect you to go downstairs, you know?
You
Like
made stairs. I'm used to Alex being DM. He mentioned stairs. It's because they're gonna come up somehow. So I was trying to get ahead of it.
Okay, I got it.
Lower your bar.
Okay. What's going on, everybody? We are back. We are peed. We are refreshed. Diana talked about something during the mid-roll. I'm sure I'll find out when I've edited this episode later on in the week. I'm very excited.
You literally.
There's
told
something
me
about
what to talk
$200 for
about.
tits. I don't know what the hell was going on.
Inflation. It's actually like a solid $400 per tit now.
Damn. I mean, worth it though, probably. I have no idea. Okay.
I might be biased, but yes.
These doors swing open and you are hit with a burst of stale air. You are looking at a long hallway punctured by bits of glowing raw stone set into the walls. They glow like a goldish rippling green, almost like the color of money. And Rainier says, "Whoa."
Whoa.
I thought about how to do that in his character voice, and I could not come up with one.
I don't blame you, but you just whoa, dude. Yo. Sorry. I mean, we go down the stairs. You said it like turns 90 degrees.
Yeah, this hallway, once you go down it, it does turn, and then leads you sort of like down a short ramp. And then opening up in front of you, you see the vault of Golorr. It is a massive 50 by 50 foot room. It is lit by torches ringing around the room. There are stone pillars supporting this room that are carved to look like trees. Actually, as they reach the top of the roof, there are like stone branches that curve down that are decorated with like really intricately detailed stone leaves.
Pretty.
And there are like 10 or 12 of these trees like sort of rising from the gloom of the bottom of this room, feathering out into it. And there are 4 major alcoves punctured in each wall, overflowing with gold coins, an insane amount of gold coins, more gold than you guys have ever seen in your whole life. It's a Scrooge McDuckian, Smaug the Dragon-esque hoard of gold coins, and centered very neatly in the middle of it is a basketball-sized pile of gemstones. Standing behind that gemstone pile is a dwarf with a gold beard and slightly ruddy cheeks. He is standing with a cane, and he looks at you and says, "Oh, I wasn't expecting company. I would have tidied the place up a little bit. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. Embarrassed, really."
Good. Well, what time of day? It's like nighttime? Question mark.
Nighttime, early morning. It's tough to answer because you're underground, but you went into the theater at like 2-3 a.m.
Okay. Good morning, good sir. I assure you we expected company just as little. I have to be honest about our intentions. We are here for treasure. Is there going to be a big discrepancy, argument, dare I say fight, if we try to take some from here?
Well, I appreciate your candor, young man. I tell you I do. It depends on who sent you, I suppose. I don't find myself agreeable to any sort of rapscallion, fiend, or scoundrel coming through these parts of relieving this place of its gold. But if the right person sent you, then I suppose you could be on your way. And he sort of,
I assure you,
he like leans one hand on his cane and sort of looks at you with like a sort of pleasant smile on his face.
Nice.
Mel wants to like grab Rainier and pull him forward and be like, "What do you think about this guy?"
Before that happens, just 1 second, please.
The look on Garrett's face is really good. Just
Going for
before
it,
that.
man.
I assure you, my good friend, we are no rapscallion or hooligan. We are victims of a tragic house fire. The bar that we've worked tirelessly to improve and serve the community has been lit aflame and burned down, and we tried our best and seeked out adventure to find this glorious horde and find us a new start.
Oh, that's terrible. You absolutely hate to see it. Who's this guy?
This here is.
We just wanted to know what you thought of him.
I
Do you know him?
appreciate his sort of demeanor. He seems to be well dressed, as all of you do, I suppose. Give me an insight roll, please, Mel.
Hey, how does Constance feel about the dwarf?
My follow-up
I'm
question
kidding, no,
was,
that's-
how
that's
does
JP's
JP
Okay,
feel
let's
about
have-
Constance is cosmetic. Constance has no real.
No.
he's just
If
here.
JP gets to roll an insight, so does Constance. Gareth, roll it up. Diana.
17?
Yeah, 3. Constance is cosmetic. He just gets cute hats, man.
Okay.
In fact, he opens up his little spell book and changes his hat to like a little gold crown.
Nice. Sick. I see a Burger King happy birthday crown, personally.
No, not the Burger King crown. No. Did you guys not see the video of that guy on the plane wearing the Burger King crown who was super racist?
Oh,
no.
What the hell are you talking
No.
about?
It's a normal crown. It is not the Burger
Okay.
King crown.
Diana, this dwarf's blonde eyebrow flicks up looking at Rainier. And as he speaks, he's talking to you, but he is maintaining unblinking eye contact with Rainier.
And JP?
Oh shit, sorry. JP is unsure. He's sort of like sitting between you and Rainier. He takes a cautionary bite of Rainier's ankles every now and then just to remind him sort of who's boss. But he's sort of sniffing the air a lot. There's a lot of sniffage going on from JP's. He's not quite certain
of
about what's
sniffage.
going on down here.
I mean, been
Quick
there.
question above the table here. Do we have a goal that is different from just like get treasure? Because that is Gareth's goal currently. I'm wondering if there's like an overarching thing.
Nope, that's it.
right,
I
sweet.
mean, I like the idea of each of you having independent reasons for being down here. If it's spending the money on Troll Skull or sending it home or whatever it is, like. But the goal of this campaign is this vault.
Sweet.
Now you're gonna have to get it past apparently the guy that is here first.
That's what I'm working on.
So Arnold would step forward and be like, "Oh, hey, I didn't expect to meet a new friend down here. Hi, I'm Arnold. What's your name?"
It's just a pleasure, Arnold. He reaches out and do you actually go to shake his hand?
Yeah, I totally
Okay.
100%.
He shakes your hand. His hand is very pleasantly warm to the touch. He doesn't squeeze too hard, which is really important for a handshake. He says, "My name is Grant Klanghammer. I am sort of I suppose you could call it a warden of these parts. But it is an absolute pleasure to make your acquaintance. Good on you for making your way down here. It is no mean feat." And Arnold, halfway through this pleasant greeting, pleasant though it is, he stops looking at you, still talking to you, and looks at Rainier.
Okay, fair enough. So can I ask? So when he looks away, I just want to ask. I know that you're curious about who's entering the vault, but the inscription in front of the door seems to indicate that only a specific person could enter the vault. So since we're here, wouldn't that suggest that we're supposed to be here?
Process of elimination of some kind.
One would assume that, wouldn't they, Master? I'm so sorry, Arnold. Am I saying?
Arnold.
Am I pronouncing that right? Thank you so much.
Yes.
One would assume, but I have been away for some time. I haven't been to the surface in it's the years roll by like the tides, don't they? So
Arnold's writing that down like lyrics. Like, what was that? Say that again. The years roll by.
the
like
years
this.
roll
Okay.
by. So I'm not quite sure what Lord Neverember, what sort of protections Lord Neverember used on the door. But I will say it is curious that you are here. And this he addresses to Rainier. And he
Really
says,
quickly, I imagine Arnold hears the years roll like the tides, but he writes down the years start coming and they don't start
Don't
coming.
stop coming.
hit the ground running. And Rainier flushes and says,
He was pooping.
I thought you what?
Rainier flushes. Because he was pooping.
That's...
This is why I get high for recordings. Okay.
A panoramic gooch of this a panoramic shot of this comedian's gooch for 5 US nickels. Hit him up on Cash Ass, everybody.
Oh, God damn it.
All right. Rainier says, I was not sure that you would remember me, as it has been so long. And Grant Clanghammer says, my dear boy, I remember everyone. Everyone that comes through these doors, and including you, when you were quite small, I believe, merely 1 or 2 years old. But it is curious that you are not here with the other one. Is he close? Is he behind? Is he coming later?
I think he's
Hey.
evil.
So listen, this guy here, not been real forthcoming. Actually, no one's been real forthcoming. You seem to know what's going on.
Yeah, you seem like a pretty straight
I know
up dude.
info dumps don't necessarily make for interesting episodes, but we're at the end here, bestie, and I've got some questions that need filling in.
Let's get some
So-
exposition.
Right. Like clearly it's Floon. Floon went out of his way to find us.
Yeah,
We're
it's
not
Floon,
sure
yeah.
why.
Like he's evil, right? We
Um,
got it.
Like he's evil-ish. That or this fucker is. See, that's where
One of them are evil. We're just
We're
trying
not
to figure it out.
100% clear. We're not sure why there's no other redheads in Waterdeep. Like that's a little weird. I don't know that you need to answer that, but it's just been something that's been like
Eugenics.
percolating up here. Well, I mean that's the concern, right? like you never know. You never know why that is. Like, it is a recessive trait. Anyway, so we don't understand what's going on with the family. Floon told us that his father was alive, albeit very, very ill. Rainier says he's been dead for 15 years. There was a zombie thing at one point. I'm not sure where that left off, so I'm a little concerned that maybe father's like alive, but like unalive. Or if the zombie thing got dropped a few episodes. See, I have questions. So if you could just
While Mel is saying this, can Gareth go for a sleight of hand to try and
it was
sneak
like
some gold?
half Mel and half Diana.
Yeah, Gareth, roll it up.
I leave it to our very talented DM to pick which ones were Mel and which ones were just Diana ranting.
Yeah, Gareth.
I got a nat 20. That is a 29.
Nat 20 is very good.
You have a plus 9?
I have a
God
plus
damn.
9 for sleight of hand and for stealth. Those are my only good bonuses.
Gareth,
Everything else is plus 2.
You palm, let's call it 2 gold boobies into the palm of your hands, and it's Gareth. It's one of the best pulls you've ever done. Like I think you slide a couple pieces with a boot and flick them up into the air and catch them silently with a palm, and in a motion so fast it looks blurred. Grant Clanghammer steps forward and slaps your hand with his staff, not hard enough to hurt you, but hard enough to drop those 2 gold coins, and he says, so sorry, dear boy. So sorry. I did say that I wouldn't be letting any of them go to the wrong people. And I'm not saying you're the wrong people, but I don't know that you're the right people just yet. So if you could refrain from sort of stealing Lord Neverember's gold just for the moment, I would deeply, deeply appreciate it.
Of course, you have to understand I had to test the abilities. I wanted to see what we were up against here. I'm sure he would place no ordinary person in guard of his gold, but I wanted to see it for myself, the legendary stature of one such as you.
I appreciate so much the spin that you are putting there. I am nothing but a humble warden. I am nothing special whatsoever. And you don't need an insight check, Gareth, to realize that this dude is like low key. He is the shit and he knows it. He is being fake humble, right? It's a humble brag. That's what it is. It's a humble brag.
He's like Alfred.
Yeah, exactly. He's the Joker.
So when we say his gold, we kind of mean like the city's gold, right? Not clear if there was embezzlement.
I think is Mel saying that too? Like as an accusatory.
I'm still trying to get info.
Yeah, genuinely, some exposition would be kind of nice at some point. I just wanted to do that.
Absolutely. Let's say this. The dwarf in front of you runs a hand through his blonde beard, and you see there are actually pieces of like raw gemstone and gold woven into the tendrils of his beard underneath like the surface. And so when he runs his fingers through his beard, it chimes almost like a wind chime on like a spring day, sort of like tingling merrily. And he looks at you thoughtfully, his eyes going from Mel to Arnold to Rainier to Garath. And then his face grows troubled. And he looks down at his staff and he says, it does regrettably no good for me to inform you that I believe your trials with information are going to be a little bit further sustained. My dear boy, it was so good to see you again. I'm so terribly sorry that it happened this way. You hear...
So he adds to questions instead of giving answers.
Give me a fucking second.
Yeah, and he also flips you off and tells you to kill yourself.
Well, I mean, if you're giving me permission. It took to the end of the campaign, but we got there.
Look how small my arms look.
Dude, no way I have to keep that one.
Use that as a thumbnail.
Look how small my arms look. Okay. Serious time. Do you want to put down
Why
the
is everyone looking at me?
Do you want to put down the cute corgi water bottle for the cute?
And he reminds you like when to drink stuff.
Okay. You hear a snapped angry word from the direction of the door behind you.
Is it the F word?
No, it actually sounds like die. And then there is a sharp wheeze and a gasp. Exactly like that. And then Rainier Neverember collapses into a pile on the floor.